Okay, good day everyone. So today I'm going to tackle about human flourishing. So there are two types of human flourishing, ideas of humans flourishing. So in flourishing, when people experience positive emotions, how our emotions and your positive psychological functioning on how we think, then positive social functioning or how we socialize to other people. And most of the time, living within an optimal range of human functioning. It is also a descriptor, no? So in second type of this, we have eudaimonia. So it means literally good spirited. It's a term coined by renowned Greek philosopher Aristotle in 385 to 322 before Christ to describe the pinnacles of happiness or the happiness of or welfare, human flourishing or prosperity or blessedness that is attainable by humans. This has often been translated into human flourishing in literature, no? Arguably likening humans to flowers achieving their full bloom. So, ang atong goal is makahuman tag eskwela, no? Mo ni pasabot diri, no? We are the flower or we are as a student, we are a student. But we have to achieve nga makahumanta, then makakita ta og sakto nga trabaho para makagain ta og better life. So according to Nicomachean Ethics, the who is the philosophical interpretation of good life. So there are four components of arises the results to human flourishing now. First is the phronesis, habit of making decisions and taking the right actions into context and relatedness to pursuit of excellence for the common good, no? So mukha daw nang mag-create daw ka habit of making decisions, like for example, ikaw is student pa ka. So example sa student ka, ikaw is student ka, then your decision is magtarong eskwela, ano, no? And then in some reasons, para maka-create kag right action is kuan maningkamot ka mga mahuman nimo imong activities, like everything nga imong gusto nga buhaton, no? Like ano kana makagain kag dako nga grades, so mo na imong taking a right action. So for friendship, we have alliance, closeness, and fondness. So sa friendship, alliance is how we create, how we communicate to other people, how we create a friendship to other people kung bago lang nimo nakaila. Like for example, sa Facebook, di ba? Uh, in our generations karon, no, sa 21st century, kanang we are close to we are close to we are close to ano to social media, like socialize kay karon, sa experience lang pud nako is uso na gid na ang magbuhat ka og ano, magbuhat og group chat. So yan na, makaila ka bagong nga tao sa Facebook, and then yan na, then maka-create jud ka og friends, new friends nimo nga kini uy friend man dito sa Facebook, no, yan. So kung makita mo sa personal. So sa wealth, we have prosperity and riches. Not only riches, no, ang ako pasabot ani sa ano, we have two types of wealth o sa riches. It's either internal and external. When it comes to internal, this is how you this is how you uh, this is how you handle yourself, how to understand other people, no, or how to forgive easily other people kung napakasala sila sa imo. So that is how this is your riches, no, your wealth internally. Kung pag-abot sa ano external, it is your kung daghang kay kwarta, so mo na ang riches, di ba? Ano pag-abot. So ang fourth is ang power, dominion or sovereignty. So for example, you have your friends, then no, ano, you have the power to speak to yourself. You have the power to give to express yourself to other people. Kaya ikaw naman makabuot sa iyong kaugalingon. So that is power. Okay. So in ancient Greek society, they believed that inquiring this will surely bring the seeker's happiness, which in effect allows them to partake in greater notions that we call the good. So, sa ano daw no, sa ancient Greek society, mutuo daw silang pag ma-acquire ni mo ning four components of human flourishing is happiness or tinuod nga kalipat. So, ining which effect og magain nimo to partake in a greater notion that what we call good. So for example no, nag-eskwela ka tarong. So sa pag-eskwela nimo tarong is ang imong goal is makahuman makagay na trabaho. So mao na imuhang happiness. Kaya gipangita man na nimo nga mahuman nimo trabaho. O isa pod na ang mutabang ka sa imo isig katawo. Okay? Kay nitabang man ka with all of your hearts, then bisag dili ka ma-expect og unsay mabalik sa imo ha. So mo na siya no, dili ka ma-expect og unsay mabalik sa imo ha, which is makita nimo nga happy sila, happy na sad ka, so that is the true happiness or surely bring the seeker's happiness sa imong kaugalingon. Ko niya mo na tong ginatawag nga common good nga gusto nato mahimong outcomes. So these four components will give us the idea and the experiences that can help us to being matured enough to socialize and to have an ano tawag niya, to have an idea also, idea lagi. Okay, no? So sumpay ta. Then we have human flourishing is positively related to rational man's attempts to externalize his values and actualize his internal views on how things ought to be. Una to kung unsa atong una i-attempt sa atong kaugalingon. Internal and external. Kung unsay gusto nato nga mahitabo no. So according to Aristotle, there is an end of all the actions that we perform, which we desire for in life. This is known as educational, nourishing, or happiness. No? So this time, explain ni Aristotle nga kini tanan daw is na daw siya end, which is mapartik sa atong kaugalingon nga ano, mapartik sa atong kaugalingon nga we are to having a common good kay nagbuhat ang taog maayo. So discrepancy between Eastern and Western civilization conception regarding society flourishing. So there are two types of civilizations no. We have in sa civilizations and sa Western civilization, they're composed of individuals. They think individually. So in Eastern civilizations pod, they think they are community centric or centered. Ano siya no? They are focusing on the society or on the community, on how other people think and other people. Kaya mo observe sila ba unsay naa sa society. So mao na ang individualism, ang difference sa mga civilization sa two different civilizations regarding to the society and human flourishing. So si Aristotle matawag niya ang eudaimonia eudaimonia kung ang tao is naningkamot. So according to him also nga kini daw tanan is na daw end. Kaning eskwela ka, naningkamot ka nga makahuman. So ang results ani is makagraduate ka. So mao na no ang gifokusan niya. Ang main idea ni Aristotle sa iyahang concept on how on the eudaimonia flourishing. Okay. So next we have science, technology, and human flourishing. So every discovery, innovation, and success contributes to our pool of human knowledge. Perhaps one of the most prevalent themes is in human perpetual is to locate himself in the world by finding proofs and to trace evolution. So which means so every discovery daw no and innovations and success is ang imo daw mga experiences ani is pag-contributes to your pool sa imong kaugalingon nga imong kaugalingon nga knowledge or imong nagain nga ideas. So this is experienceable no sa everyday kay everyday man ta. Once everyday we wake up in everyday nga mahuman is an experience no knowledge na gihapon na. So perhaps one of the most prevalent daw themes is human perpetual need. So mo na ang one of perpetual needs sa tao. So para ma-locate iyang kaugalingon to trace the evolution no because every individual has the individual has the characteristics man to identify themselves in finding common goods, diba? Kaya we have different perspective to look for in our ways, okay? So, in human flourishing is deeply intertwined with goal setting relevant to science and technology. In this case, the latter is relevant as a tool in achieving the former of echoing Heidegger's statement. So, according to Heidegger's statement, technology is a human activity that we excel in as a result of achieving science. Suffice to say that the end goals of both science and technology and human flourishing are related. So, human flourishing has deeply intertwined with goal setting relevant to science and technology. No, this is very common today. So sa kini nga kaso daw, in the latter is very common na daw good for achieving the former or echoing. It is according to Heidegger's statement that technology is related to human science and technology is related to human flourishing because we are looking for when we say science and technology, they are looking for facts, no? We have to create the statement and we have observations also. So ingani no. Then the next is we have the we conduct experiments, okay? That is for science and technology, which is looking for the fact, no? So the science is a method of results. For most part, science's reputation stems from the objectivity through upon an arbitrary rigid methodology whose very characters observe for accusations of prejudice. Even though the number of steps varies and present the general idea on how to do science. So first we have to observe and determine if there are unexplained occurrences unfolding. So for example, na kay nakita then na-observe then curious kayo ka. Then sa imong pagtanaw to is something happens. So you have to observe. You have to observe it, okay? Then sa imong naobserbahan is i-unfold nimo siya. Pangitaan nimo pa maagi nga ma-explain to nimo. So musunod na dayon ang determine the problem. So pangitaon na dayon nimo ang problem, okay? And identify the factors involved kung unsa ang mga factors nga part ato niya unsa nangahitabo possible nga makahitabo sa iya. So the third is formulate hypothesis that could explain the said phenomenon. The goal is to reject the null hypothesis and accept the alternative hypothesis for the study to count the significant. Okay? So sa hypothesis na imo isulatan na ang possible nga mga nahitabo or the possible outcomes, no? Then that's how you formulate your hypothesis. Then conduct experiment by setting up dependent and independent variables and trying to see how independent ones affect dependent ones. So magkanda kag experiment sa ato. So sundugon nimo ang nahitabo ato. So unsay nahitabo, like for example, the earthquake, ingan curious kayo kaunsa ang earthquake. So no, murag na-experience naman ni siguro ni Lasaw. Na-experience ko gid nil when I was in grade 8. Then we conduct experiment about how the earthquake does. So it starts from faults areas, no, ingana. So that's how they determine din namo og unsa ang dependent and independent variables, kung unsay cause niya and effect, unsay ang outcomes siya sa cause. So sunod is gather and analyze results throughout and upon culmination of the experiment. Examine the data gathered and are significant enough to conclude results. So gather and analyze daw, no, the ideas nga or the outcomes nga nahitabo ato nga sa imong experiments, no. So the lastly is formulate conclusions and provide recommendation in case our others would want to broaden the study. Okay. So verification theory. In earliest criterion distinguishes philosophy and science event of an alternative hypothesis. Premium on empiricism and result to measurable and experiment which are repeatable. Okay? Explain na nimo siya. Or imong measure. So, in 20th century, according to the Vienna Circle, or a group of scholars who believe only those who can observe should be regarded as meaningful and reject those which cannot be directly accessed as meaningless. So, ilang pasabot ani is, ang katudang most observable people are the meaningful. Kay they are understand about the surroundings, no. So they are always looking for those observable people are looking for every answer sa ilang mga idea, ilang mga questions sa ilang kaugalingon, kung unsa jud ay ilang unsa i-answer nila sa ilang mga curiosity. So they are curious, or they are sensitive in critical thinking. So ingana ilang pag-identify. So we have the second theory, or the falsification theory. So falsification theory asserts that as long as an ideology is not proven to be false and can be explained a phenomenon over alternative theories, we should accept the said ideology. So sa falsification theory daw, na-asserts daw siya as an ideology, kung ay ideology dili siya not proven to be false, no, so acceptable na yun siya, or nagay na gid siya nga matawag na gid siya nga ideology. So known ani si Karl Popper. So Karl Popper is known for his attempt to refute the classical positivist account of the scientific method by replacing induction with the falsification principle. So the falsification principle proposed by Karl Popper is a way of demarcating. So demarcating, no, is na limitations ang science from non-science. One example ani is ang Bible and science, no, kay they are very critical in comparing and analyzing, kay lahi man siya dimensions nga partake, no. So we have an example here. For example, the hypothesis that all swans are white can be falsified by observing a black swan. So, mahulog siya nga false kay. Mahulog siya nga di tinuod is kay na may na-observe nga black swans, no? So, now, that is for Popper's theory, that science should attempt to disprove a theory rather than for attempt to continually support theoretical hypothesis. Okay? So, science and social science as a social endeavor. So, there are five several philosophers, which is Paul Thagard, Emery Lakatos, Richard Rorty, Helen Longino, and David Bloor. So these five several philosophers presented all alternative demonstrations, the social dimensions of science and effectively technology. Science ceased to belong solely to gown-wearing, bespectacled scientists and laboratories, according to them. The new view perpetuates a dimension which generally benefits the society. Wherever their science is, it can be ascertained that it is no way inferior to that globalized people and sciences. Okay, so thus it represents all alternative notions that goes beyond the boundaries of cold, hard facts and science and instead projects in a different light such as manifestation of shared experiences forging solidarity over communities. It is according to them. For science and results, for the most part, people who do not understand science are won over the discipline is able to produce results, no? In the particular argument, however, science is not only discipline which is able to produce results, but religion, luck, and randomness are some of its contemporaries in the field. Some communities without access to science, they can turn divination and superstition and get the same results. So they are depending on their experience only, no, not they're not getting experiments or trying experiments within themselves to create a real fact, no, para makakuha na gyud sila og same sa results sa science. So that is community access to science. Okay, so science is not entirely foolproof such that it is correct 100% of the time. Kaya nagkandak man siya og experiment, no? So, it can conclude that science does not monopolize to claim for definite results. So, science and education. There is no such thing as singular scientific methods offering instead a variety of procedures that scientists can experience with to get results and call them science. If one is really in pursuit of human flourishing, it would make sense for them to pursue it holistically. In Aristotle's eudaimonic person is required to be knowledgeable about science. Among other things of equal importance, they are supposed to propose intellectual virtues that will enable them to determine truth from falsehood or good reasoning for poor reasoning. So mo to kung inong giinano nga dili required to be knowledgeable about science. It is how you observe and how you try to experiment it. Okay, so a true eudaimonic recognizes the flourishing requires one of the excel in various dimensions such as linguistic on how you speak, kinetic on how you move or how you do the things that you could do, and socio-civic on socialize to other people. Then, thus he understand that he should not focus on one aspect alone. So dili daw ta mag-focus on one aspect alone. We have to determine the both sides, the positive and negative sides, or the good and bad sides. No, we have to look over it. Okay. So how much is too much? In 2000, world leaders signed the Millennium Development Goals in the MDG that targets 8 concerns, one of which state that they should be able to forge a global partnership for development. Growth presents in illusionary notions of sustainability. The world resources can only provide so much sa earth, no? It cannot be expected to stretch out for everybody's consumptions over a long period of time. So, Gi-predict na gid nila nga dili na jud possible nga magdugay pa jud ang kalibutan. The world is developing day by day, and human inventions in today's modern time, while it may be convenience to our kind or our own creations, will damage the world in a long run. So for for to us ang atong ma-develop ang atong development is okay ra, then if we look for the earth's surface, this the earth can long run already, dili na kay naginahinay na og kadaot ang ozone layer, also the flora and fauna. So that is one of the main reason nganong mahitabo na ang mga sunog, mahitabo na ang earthquake, the tsunami, basta tanan nga man-made nga mga buluhaton. Okay? The population is growing bigger, and the resources needed to sustain such as growth is getting scarce. Instead increasing this, it would be for good of everyone if people let nature recover its resources first. No? So, according to Joseph Haeckel, suggested that development countries should not push forth more growth but instead adapt the development. Ang iyang pasabot sa the development there is to reborn the nangawala tong i-reborn ang mga nangawala nga ang mga instinct ng mga butang. So right now we are experiencing resources of this said exploitation in the hands of man-made climate change, which would snowballs and affect majority of flora and fauna, driving half of the latter extinct in less than 100 years now. So thank you for listening and have a great day. God bless everyone. Thank you.